Hello YouTube family, Merry Christmas and a huge Happy New Year to all of you. With the 2026 World Cup on the way, the energy in the football world is already building and we are thrilled to be sharing it with this amazing community. To celebrate, we have lined up some holiday surprises in the Goal 90 shop. A bunch of your favorite jerseys are already up to 50% off. Shipping is on us, and because you are part of our YouTube fam, you can grab an extra 10% off with the code YouTubeFam. Thanks for all the love and support. 2026 is going to be massive. Let's enjoy every moment together. Happy New Year, Goal 90 fam. Chelsea have just pulled the trigger and Enzo Maresca is out. No long goodbye, just the Stamford reset button. Now the real game begins. Who takes the keys to a squad built for Champions League nights? Here are 5 candidates Chelsea could move for next. Coming up at number 5, Xabi Alonso. He's still in the hot seat at Real Madrid and Spanish media have been pretty brutal about it. Another defeat could mean the end for him. That's the reality of Madrid. One bad result can flip the whole story overnight. And now the pressure spikes again because the Spanish Super Cup is next. It's a trophy, it's a spotlight, and it's the kind of week where Madrid expect perfection. The timing is also rough because reports say Madrid are set to go into it without Kylian Mbappe after a knee injury. When your biggest star and top goal scorer is missing, it shrinks your margin for error even more. And that's why the one loss and he could be out talk keeps resurfacing. Now, about England. Alonso is a Liverpool legend and he has said the Liverpool job is something he'd have to consider in the future. For a while, the idea was that if Arne's slot ever wobbled, Alonso would be one of the first names people pushed. But right now, Slot's job looks safe for now with Liverpool stabilising and the mood improving. So if he's sacked by Madrid and Liverpool isn't opening up, Chelsea is the obvious big Premier League landing spot. And Alonso struggling at Madrid doesn't mean he's not top quality. Madrid's dressing room is rumoured to be too heavy, too many huge personalities, too much noise. And it's no secret that Madrid's board is not a patient one. Chelsea are chaotic, but they're also younger, more coachable, and a manager like Alonso could actually have a clearer runway to impose his ideas without fighting a constant superstar power game. Next up at number 4, Xavi Hernandez. This is the available right now option, and in a Chelsea crisis, that's a superpower. You're not negotiating release clauses, you're not waiting for a season to finish, you're not begging a boardroom to let a coach leave mid-project. You just call, you pitch, you move. And the links are already out there. Reports in late December had Xavi described as being in pole position to replace Maresca if Chelsea decide to act. Other coverage has also pointed out that he's become the bookies' favourite in some markets, which usually happens when a name is genuinely circulating in the background. Now, why would Chelsea even want him? Because stylistically it matches what the ownership keeps trying to build. Controlled possession, structured build-up, young players coached into a system, and a manager who's comfortable being the headline. Xavi isn't perfect, but he's not scared of pressure. He has lived inside a club where the noise never stops, where every draw becomes a crisis meeting, and where the fans judge you by the minute, not the month. And that's the big point. Chelsea right now are not just struggling with results, they're struggling with identity. Xavi gives you an identity on day one. You'll know what Chelsea are trying to do within 2 matches. The risk is also obvious. Premier League chaos is different, and Chelsea's squad is full of personalities and moving parts. But if the board wants a coach who can walk into a spotlight, speak like a leader, and sell a football idea to the dressing room and the fans, Xavi is built for that. Before we get into number 3, quick one. If you're enjoying this breakdown, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss the next upload. And drop a comment right now. Xabi or Xavi, who fits Chelsea better? Sliding in at number 3, Cesc Fàbregas. This is the wildcard that actually makes sense in modern Chelsea logic. He's no longer just a former player with ideas. He's the head coach at Como, officially appointed after helping them rise and then stepping into the main seat. And his name has already shown up in Chelsea replacement chatter and shortlist style discussion, which tells you people are at least making calls in their heads. But the real question is, can he be tempted to leave Como? Here's the honest answer. It depends on timing and ego, and with Cesc, both matter. Como is a clean project. Less noise, more control, more patience. He can build without every draw becoming a trending topic. That's the dream environment for a young coach. Chelsea is the opposite, but it's also the kind of opportunity that doesn't wait for you. If a top 6 club offers you a squad full of young talent, a massive budget, and the chance to coach Champions League level players every day, that's the sort of leap many coaches take even if it feels early. And for Fàbregas specifically, there's another factor. Chelsea isn't a random step up. It's a club where he already has history, relationships and credibility with the fan base the moment he walks in. That shortens the prove yourself phase. If he jumps too soon and it goes wrong, the story becomes he wasn't ready. Remember Frank Lampard? But if he stays too long, the big chair might get taken by someone else. So if Chelsea want him, they'd have to sell him a clear promise, real authority, patience through early bumps, and the freedom to coach, not just survive headlines. At number 2, Crystal Palace's Oliver Glasner. This is the fix the chaos appointment. If Chelsea want a coach who can organise a team fast, tighten the structure, and make a dressing room behave like a unit again, Glasner is built for that job. The big reason his name keeps popping up is simple: timing. Crystal Palace confirmed when they appointed him that his deal runs until the end of the 2025-26 season. Some outlets recently reported that Palace are already thinking ahead because he hasn't committed to staying, and there have been reports floating around that he's not planning to renew. So can he be tempted to leave? Yes, because Chelsea can offer two things Palace can't: a bigger platform and the kind of squad depth that suits his coaching. And if his contract situation stays uncertain, Chelsea don't necessarily need a messy tug of war. They just need the moment where Palace accept it's turning into a last months of the deal scenario. Tactically, it also fits. Chelsea have talented players, but they keep losing control of matches. Glasner's best teams are organised, aggressive at the right moments, and hard to play through. He's not coming for vibes, he's coming to set rules. If Chelsea decide they don't want another long project speech and they want someone who can stabilise the team immediately, this is one of the cleanest ideas on the board. At number 1, Liam Rosenior. This is the name that fits Chelsea's ownership model too perfectly to ignore. Outlets like The Guardian have already reported that Rosenior is being considered as a possible successor to Maresca, and that's a huge tell. Chelsea and Strasbourg are under the same blue co-umbrella, so the pathway is already built. No long adaptation period, no who's who politics, no culture shock. Rosenior has been working inside that ecosystem, and if Chelsea want a smoother transition that keeps the long-term plan intact, this is the cleanest move on the board. And it's not just about convenience. The club's entire strategy has been about building a system that survives manager changes. Same recruitment logic, same development focus, same data-driven decisions, same idea of creating value through coaching. That only works if the coach you bring in actually buys into it. Rosenior would not need to be sold the vision. He's already living inside it. Speed is another appeal for Chelsea. If the board decides to make a move, they will not want weeks of negotiations and media leaks while the season keeps sliding. Rosenior is a solution you can execute quickly, and if the dressing room needs a hard reset, sometimes the best choice is not the biggest name but the clearest plan. Now, the risk is obvious too. This is a massive jump in pressure. Strasbourg is a serious job, but Chelsea is a different universe. Every press conference becomes a headline. Every draw becomes a meltdown, and players at Chelsea do not just test your tactics, they test your authority. Rosenior would have to arrive with instant clarity, instant rules, and a staff setup that can handle the storm. But if Chelsea's owners are thinking long-term instead of emotional, this is the choice that makes the most sense. It protects their model, keeps the structure consistent, and gives them a coach who can grow with a young squad rather than fight it. If they want stability without ripping up the blueprint, Rosenior is the number 1 candidate. So be honest in the comments. Would you back Rosenior as the long-term Chelsea coach, or do Chelsea need a superstar manager to calm the noise? If you enjoyed this video, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. We've got more big football stories on the way, and you don't want to be late to the next one. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.